Many people and organizations opposing Article 5 movements use this particular quote from Supreme Court Justice Scalia. In 2014, an interview on the televised Calb Report, Justice Scalia was asked, if you could amend the Constitution in one way, what would it be and why? In an attention-grabbing statement, he said, I would not want a constitutional convention. I mean, whoa, ooh, what would come out of that? This is out of context what he said and believes. Let's listen to what he stated and what he meant.
From Seth Dawson of the Office of Congressman Denny Hecht. Justice Stevens recently suggested a constitutional amendment to modify the Second Amendment. If you could amend the Constitution in one way, what would it be and why? Justice Scalia.
I certainly would not want a constitutional convention. I mean, whoa. Who knows what would come out of that? But if there were a targeted amendment that were adopted by the states, I think the only provision I would amend is the amendment provision. I figured out at one time what percentage of the populace could prevent an amendment to the Constitution. And if you take a bare majority in the smallest states by population, I think something less than 2% of the people can prevent a constitutional amendment. It ought to be hard, but it shouldn't be that hard.
If you listen to his entire comment, there's nothing about him opposing using Article 5 to balance the powers between the states and the federal government. In fact, he stated Article 5 needs to be easier so states can enforce federalism. Justice Scalia was a supporter of Article 5, and it's almost a crime for the opposition to admit the real intent of his statements. If the opposition will stoop to using these lies, what else will they use?